In this installment, we're going to be going over the MLB bet slate for Sunday, June 23rd. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to give you the winning ingredients for our June 23rd MLB slate we got going on for Sunday. But before we deep dive into that, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetsJetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91. And don't forget about that Patreon. Right now, we're at the homepage of the YouTube channel, currently at 6.08 thousand subscribers. This is the road to 10K, and we are well on our way because of you guys showing up each and every day, liking and commenting and obviously subscribing. All that helps the YouTube algorithm so we can grow to a broader audience. If you're not subscribed to this channel or to the Patreon, I'm telling you right now, you are 100% missing out on the community that we're building on YouTube and on Patreon. I highly encourage you guys to like, comment, and subscribe as well. Talking about that Patreon, this is what I'm talking about here. I can't show the chat on laptop. It's only through the app on the phone. So I took some screenshots of what went on today. This is one of the wins we saw. And this is going throughout the whole entire day. Just people brainstorming, putting out plays, putting plays together. Hey, this is what I got. Hey, this is what I got. Hey, I think we should tweak this a little bit. Let's go this way on this game. And it's really a fun environment in the community chat here. So this parlay was Twins, Red Sox, Guardians, Mariners. So these are my plays, their plays mixed together, and it's awesome. It really is. Today was really just a phenomenal day. One of our guys hit for $1,600. This was like a 10-leg parlay for $100. $1,611. We were waiting on that Red Sox game. That was the last piece to come through, and this man cashed here. So phenomenal job, everyone. It's just really cool that we're building. As you see, I'm in the chat right there, Chef D's chat. I told people take the Mystics live, and when we took it, they were at plus 100 odds. So obviously people asking me questions. As you can see, I gave out Mystics on the money line. I gave out Robert Whitaker was a lock for UFC as well. I gave that out as well in the chat. So things are popping off on there. And just to show you some of the tickets here, Robert Whitaker, as you can see, I told you guys to take it. I told you guys to take the Mystics plus 100. And our top play in baseball, I gave out the Chicago Cubs. It was like 90% of the money coming on the Mets. Yo, that was a freaking layup after what happened the day before. So you see what's going on in the Patreon chat, yo. So sign up to that link down below right now. Do not miss out. I'm so excited to announce I have partnered with BetStamp and Sign Up Expert to provide you guys with an easier way to sign up with any sportsbook in your area. If you go to the link in the description down below, you will be directed to this page you see here. It automatically displays all available sportsbooks in your area plus their current promotions. For example, you could take the plays given in this video and apply it to any other sportsbooks you don't currently have and reap the rewards. Now let's get into the slate. All right, first game up for the Sunday slate, we have the Arizona Diamondbacks 38-39 going against the Philadelphia Phillies 50-26. Looking at the current odds right now, Phillies are minus 190 with the comeback of the Diamondbacks at a plus 155. Total run set at 9.5. I've been telling you, we've been watching this series here. This is that rematch from the NLCS in the playoffs of last year. And obviously the Arizona Diamondbacks beat the Phillies. And this is what I'm talking about. This is a little bit of revenge. I get it. Arizona won that first game. Philadelphia tattooed the D-backs like I said they would in the second game here. Looking at the public bet percentage, this is what it's supposed to be. 90% of the bets, 97% of the money on the Phillies here. Total runs, we have 91% of the bets, but 64% of the money is coming in on the under. So people are pretty fluxed with the total here on that 9.5. between this pitching matchup here. We have Slade Sassoni, 2-5 with a 5.90 ERA, going up against Christopher Sanchez, who just signed an extension, 4-3 with a 2.91 ERA. And I'm gonna agree with that sharp money coming in there on that 64%. I like the under in this game here. Despite the fact you're looking at Slade's and Sony's ERA, that's 5.90. Majority of that bad ERA is when he's at home in Arizona. He has a 13.00 ERA at home. Okay, so that's a huge stark difference there. On the road, he is 3.38 ERA. So he's a much better pitcher on the road. He just can't. That's more of a hitter's park there in Arizona. He pitches way better outside of Arizona, so that's understandable there. But there are still some issues looking at his numbers on the road. He has a home run problem, and against the lefties, his xFIP is a 5.14. All right, so far this year, he's given up 12 home runs this year. So a little bit of a home run problem and a little bit struggles against lefties. And we know the Philadelphia Phillies lefties here, Schwarber and Bryce Harper and a bunch of other guys as well in the Philadelphia Phillies lineup that can get to Slade Sassoni. Christopher Sanchez, he is absolutely elite at home with a 1.84 ERA. Righties are a little bit of his issue. Some raised numbers to right-handed batters, 262 average, a 1.19 whip. So nothing really concerning, but that is his little bit of a weakness there, right-handed batters. So for this game, I expect the Philadelphia Phillies get some more revenge on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Give me them on the money line. I like them at that run spread, -1.5, and give me the under 9.5 runs here. I know people might be looking at Slade's and Sony's ERA, but that's at home. That is not on the road, so under 9.5. In PNC Park, we have the Pittsburgh Pirates 37-39 going against the Tampa Bay Rays 37-40 here. We have the Pirates at home as favorites, -160 on the money line, with the comeback of the Rays at a +135. Total runs are set at 8 for the full game public bet percentage here. 81% of the bets, 96% of the money coming in on the Pirates. So more sharps in public on the side of the Pirates with the money. Total runs, 96% of the bets, 97% of the money towards the over 8. All right, so we got a really one-sided pitching matchup here. Aaron Civale, 2-5 with a 5.42 ERA, going up against Paul Skeens, the absolute phenom, 4-0 with a 2.29 ERA. We already know about Paul Skeens. All right, Paul Skeens is the next ace here for the Pirates for the future of MLB as well. He's phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. 30% K rate to both lefties and righties, 33% K rate and above, to both lefties and righties. A little bit of an issue to right-handed batting power. He's been giving up some home runs to righties there. That's his only weakness. Home run per 9, 1.74 home run per 9 to righties. So if you want to see some righty power bats in that Rays lineup, I think that could be lucrative if you do some player props that way. But Aaron Civale is the gas can, all right? He has a 6.75 ERA on the road. He struggles against lefties and righties. It doesn't matter. Versus lefties on the road, a 309 batting average, a 1.20 home run per 9, a 1.67 whip, and the xFIP is at 4.28. Versus righties on the road, a 307 average, a 1.75 whip, even worse, and the xFIP is at 4.46. So it looked like he's going to be hit up here in this spot. Give me the Pittsburgh Pirates. I saw a lot of people on the Rays yesterday. Pirates came through, and I think the Pirates can come through again and close out the series 2-1 against the Rays. So Pirates on the money line, and give me the under 8 runs in this one, okay? In Lone Depot Park here in Miami Marlins 26-50 going up against the Seattle Mariners 45-34. Looking at the current line here, we have Seattle Mariners as road favorites, -170 here, with the comeback of the Miami Marlins at a +145. For the total, it is set at 7.5 here. So looking at the pitching matchup, they made a pitching change. It was Braxton Garrett earlier, but they have switched to Kyle Tyler here, the Miami Marlins. So this is going to be looking like a bullpen game for the Miami Marlins. Bryce Miller, on the other hand, has been pretty garbage on the road, and it is a pretty big sample size here with Bryce Miller and his issues on the road. If we're looking at his road ERA, it is at a 5.54 ERA. Against lefties, he's given up a 2.66 home run per nine. That is very, very alarming. 220 batting average. That's fine. That's low, but the xFIP is at 5.65. So expected numbers there. Expect a lot of regression coming towards lefty batters. Against righties on the road, the home run per nine is 1.17. The batting average is raised at 2.71. The whip is raised at 1.30, and the xFIP is a little bit lower at 3.76. So Miami Marlins, bullpen here. Kyle Tyler, he's not going to be seeing many innings. So the Miami Marlins bullpen has been pretty solid this season. But I'm going to be going against the Seattle Mariners here in this issue with Bryce Miller. We saw a lot of money coming in on the Mariners on the Saturday slate. I expect them to be even heavier here with the pitching change on Kyle Tyler. It could be around that 90% range on the Mariners in this spot here. Miami Marlins, I do expect them to squeak this one out. So we're going to be safe and take the run line here. All right, we're going to fade the public. I can already imagine that's why you see the money line raised already to minus 170. We're gonna play it safe. Give me the plus 1.5 on the Marlins at home, and we're gonna go with the under 7.5. Miami Marlins Park has been notorious for unders here. So has the Rangers. They made some changes there. So both of those two types of parks have been going under the total lately. So love the under 7.5, and give me the Marlins to play very, very scrappy against a bad pitcher here, and Bryce Miller on the road, take advantage of him and that plus 1.5. Next up in Progressive Field, Cleveland 48-26. Toronto Blue Jays 35-41. This one is a pretty even here. Cleveland Guardians slightly favored at minus 115. With the comeback of the Toronto Blue Jays at a minus 105 on the money line. The total runs are set at 9. All right, for the public bet percentage, 91% of the bets and 76% of the money on the Guardians. Total runs, 88% of the bets, 81% of the money towards the over 9 runs. And we have a very interesting pitching matchup here. You see Kikuchi 4-6 with a 3.65 ERA against Tristan McKenzie here, 3-4 with a 4.48 ERA. Kikuchi is a lefty with solid numbers against righties. Guardians have struggled against him. If you're looking at BVP, he's thrown 9 Ks in 36 at-bats. The batting average is at 154, and the on-base percentage is at 195. So nice low numbers there. Guardians bats do struggle against Kikuchi because they got a lot of lefties in that lineup as well. So a little bit of lefty-lefty matchup there. Tristan McKenzie, on the other hand, has struggled this year yet again. All right, he was bad last year with a 5 ERA. This year, it's a raised 4.4 ERA. But the issues here are home runs. All right, he's given up 15 home runs so far this year, and that's both to lefties and righties. The only good thing with him, he's giving up a low batting average. All right, so he needs to find a balance there. All right, and the issue is at home, he's already given up 11 home runs. So 11 out of his 15 home runs come from home. When he's pitching in Cleveland, they are home here, and this could be a very big spot for the Blue Jays to get cracking those bats. So give me the Blue Jays on the money line, which is pretty much even here at minus 105. I love them on the money line, and give me the over 9 runs here. I do expect the Blue Jays bats to get towards Tristan McKenzie in this spot here. In Globe Life Park here, Texas, 36-40. The Rangers, Kansas City Royals on the other end, 42-36. Looking at the line right now, minus 160 on the money line for the Rangers, plus 135 for the Kansas City Royals on the comeback. Total runs set at 8.5. All right, public bet percentage here, 80% of the bets, 81% of the money, all over the Texas Rangers. Total runs, 81% of the bets, 78% of that money towards the over 8.5 as well. And we have a very, very Interesting pitching matchup. All right, Alec Marsh 5-4 with a 4.37 ERA against Max Scherzer. Yes, we haven't seen Max Scherzer since the playoffs of last year, and he's making his season debut against the Royals. So it's going to be very interesting to see here, and I expect a lot of public money coming in on the Rangers side here. Before I get to Max Scherzer, Alec Marsh has some raised numbers on the road. His ERA on the road is a 5.32 ERA. He is giving up home runs to righties. That's his issue. Right now, the batting average as well is a 319 batting average, a 1.73 whip. But his expected numbers show progression, okay? When we're looking at those righty numbers, despite the fact they were pretty bad. 319 average and a 173 whip. The xFIP is showing some progression on the side that he should be pitching better going throughout the rest of his season, all right? Max Scherzer on the other side, this is his first start. Do not expect a lot out of Max Scherzer in this first start. He just got off the 60-day DL list, and he had that nerve damage in his right tricep. So that's what the issue was. And in the minor leagues, his ERA was a 4.91 ERA in 11 innings. He threw strikeouts, 17 strikeouts, and the whip was 1.18. So that ERA isn't that great in the minors. And this pretty much is going to be a bullpen game for the Rangers. I do not expect Max Scherzer to go 5 or 6 innings. They're probably going to be in that 3 to 4 range. They're going to gradually stretch him out because they want him for the run of the playoffs yet again. So getting in that bullpen, we do see some positive numbers here for Alec Marsh here. I'm going to be going with the Kansas City Royals, playing it safe. Give me that plus 1.5. I expect this game to be very close. We have question marks on the bullpen of the Rangers. We got question marks on Alec Marsh. Can he turn around to these positive numbers and finally have a good game on the road as well? So give me the plus 1.5 on the Royals in the close matchup I expect in Texas. And give me the under 8.5 runs as well. Like I said, I told you Globe Life is one of those environments that tend to go towards the under. So I like that under 8.5 here in this pitching matchup. In Oakland Coliseum, we have the Athletics 29-50 going against the Minnesota Twins 42-35. Looking at the current odds, give me 1 second. All right, they split the series so far. So these teams have split the series so far. Looking at the current odds, we have the Twins on the money line minus 185 with the comeback of the Oakland Athletics at a plus 150. Total runs are set at 8. Public bet percentage here, 84% of the bets, 71% of the money on the Twins in this spot here. Total runs, 89% of the bets, 93% of the money towards the 8 runs. We have Pablo Lopez here, 6-6 with a 5.63 ERA. Going up against Hogan Harris, 1-0 with a 2.37 ERA. Pablo Lopez has been a complete gas can to lefties and righties, and it doesn't matter home on the road. He's been absolutely horrible, and the A's have hit him well so far in his career with a 304 batting average, and his home run per 9 on the road is at a 2.13. And we know that the Oakland Athletics has some pretty big power bats as well. All right, Hogan Harris on the other side. He's been pretty solid this year versus righties. He's given up a 185 batting average, a .96 whip, and the BABIP is at 190. But he does have a little bit of an issue. Home run per 9 is at a 1.57. Okay, so I'm going to be going with the Oakland Athletics here. Give me them on the run spread. Give me them on the money line. If you want to play it safe, take that plus 1.5. If you're willing to juice it up a little bit, that money line's right there at a plus 150. I am not touching nowhere near Pablo Lopez when he's on the mound. He just hasn't gotten it right ever since coming over to the Minnesota Twins. So give me, like I said, Athletics money line, Athletics run spread, and I'm going to be leaning towards the over 8 runs in this spot as well. I'm going to agree with the public on that one. In Busch Stadium in St. Louis, we have the Cardinals going up against the Giants. Cardinals are 38-37. Giants are 36-41. Cardinals at home are minus 125 on the money line, with the comeback of the San Francisco Giants at a plus 105. Total runs are set at 7.5 for the public bet percentage. Public is pretty heavy on the side of the Cardinals here. 71% of the bets, 97% of the money on the Cardinals. Total runs, we have 100% of the bets on the over, and we have 99% of the money towards the over 7.5. Very interesting to see that all that money coming in towards over, because we have a very good pitching matchup. Logan Webb 6-5 with a 2.99 ERA. Gonna get Sonny Gray here 8-4 with a 2.95 ERA. These two guys have been the aces for their team. So we got an ace versus ace, and this should be a pitching duel. I like the under in this spot. I'm going to fade the public on that 100%. Give me the under 7.5 here. Both of these guys have very good BVPs against each other's team. And I'm going to be going with the San Francisco Giants here. They've been hit up by the Cardinals in the past two games. I expect the Giants to fight back with their ace on the mound and Logan Webb and avoid a sweep. So that's going to be our angle here, to avoid a sweep. Logan Webb on the mound. And he has very good numbers against the Cardinals. Give me them on the money line there. They juiced up the run line on purpose at minus 200. So that's a pretty safe bet. But I'm gonna take a little bit of risk. Give me the Giants on the money line and give me the under 7.5, and I expect the Giants to avoid the sweep in this one. Last but not least, we have the New York Mets here, 36-39, going up against the Chicago Cubs, 37-40 here. Looking at the current odds, there is no total runs set yet. There's no data on that. But the money line, slight favorite, Chicago Cubs. Come back on the Mets minus 105. It's pretty much an even scenario between these two teams. It's been like that the first two games. And if you just look at where the money's gone, you've been able to choose the right team. First game was the New York Mets coming out 11-1. Second game, the Chicago Cubs bounce back and blow out the Mets in game 2. And now we have the rubber match here. Both teams are 1-1, obviously, against each other. So what's going to give? All right. So public bet percentage here, 90% of the bets, 75% of the money all over the Cubs in this spot. I would guess the total runs would be at around the 8 range. It depends if the wind is blowing out. That's a big factor there when you're playing in Chicago. And the pitching matchup here is Luis Severino, 4-2 with a 3.52 ERA, going against Javier Assad, 4-2 with a 2.75 ERA. Javier Assad has been very strong at home in a 1.69 ERA. He does give up a lot of hits to righties, all right? And his xFIP right now, his expected numbers to righties, is at a 5.65. All right, so that's going to be a major concern there going up against the Mets and their righties. Severino, on the other hand, has been very good against righty at-bats. His issue is against lefties, and he should see around 3 to 4 lefties in that Chicago Cub lineup that will go against him. The numbers against lefties is a 273 batting average. Isn't too bad. A 1.29 whip, and the xFIP is at 4.28. So not phenomenal. Not too great. It's okay. All right, so I'm gonna be going with the Mets in this spot. I like how Luis Severino has bounced back this season, and I expect the Mets bats, who have been pretty hot in the last 10 games. Obviously, they only lost one game. Then like 9-1 in the last 10 games. I'm going to stick with the hot bats here in the New York Mets to get towards the Chicago Cubs and Javier Assad, who has issues against righties. So money line on the Mets, and I would go towards the under. Whatever the total is probably going to be like an 8.5. I'm going to go towards the under 8.5 in this spot in Chicago. But if that wind is blowing out over 12, 13 miles per hour, then would lean towards the over. So definitely wait for the weather news. If there's wind blowing out to outfield and it's over double digits, then consider the over. All right. So those are going to be our selections for the Sunday slate. Let me know in that comment section down below what are going to be your plays. If you just want to say what's up, Let me know in that comment section down below. Guys, if do not miss out on that Patreon and that community that we're building. Remember, that Patreon link is provided down below. Also, we have the bet stamp link. So if you want to get signed up with a sports book, take advantage of FanDuel's promotions, or DraftKings if you haven't signed up for them as well. If you want to sign up for their promotions, I have that link that gets you directly connected with them as well. All right, that is down below as well. So don't miss out. Sign up right now, and I'll be back with another video very soon. All right, peace out.